the computer at home is pretty slow, so I figured we're just gonna juice it up by installing some RAM. So today I'm gonna show you guys how to install a DDR 1 gig RAM into a regular desktop computer. Okay, now some of the tools that you're gonna need is a screwdriver, a Phillips head, and of course you're gonna need your RAM right here. Okay, now it's very important that you ground yourself before doing the installation. I'm not sure what that means, but you're supposed to go touch a doorknob or something so you don't electrocute yourself while you're trying to install your new RAM into your PC. So, just for the sake of it, why don't we go and grab a doorknob, just touch it, okay? Make sure you're not wearing any socks or not wearing anything that's going to be causing static, okay? Okay, now here we have the CPU unit for an Emachine computer. Okay, now if you notice here, you're going to have a series of screws in the back of your computer. Some of them you're going to be able to just take them off with your hands. Others, you are going to need that screwdriver. Make sure you're only taking off the ones that are attached to the cover of the computer and not any of the ones that are attached to the essential parts of the computer you're using. So now, once you get all the screws out, you want to make sure you put them in a safe place where you can see them, because it's pretty difficult to find replacements for these little screws here. Okay, now most CPU units just let you slide the covering off, and I believe that mine will allow us to do the same thing. There'll usually be something like this where you can just pop it off, and now our top is off and the inside of the CPU unit is exposed. Now here we have a fan, and right over here you will see the RAM. Let me see if I can turn this so you can see it a little better. It'll look identical to the RAM that you're purchasing, and it looks just like this. This is a Kingston PC 3200 1 gig, because I really want to juice mine up, so this is the one that I'll be using for the installation. Now, if you notice, there's going to be a little slit in the middle right here, right there. You want to make sure that this goes in perfectly with the additional slot that your computer has. A lot of times you'll have two spaces for RAM. The one that I have here is just a 512, but once the computer loads it up, it reads it as a 300 and something. I'm not sure. Now, let's go ahead and install it. Okay. Now here, if you notice, I have it's a closer look of the RAM that I actually have, and then right next to it is the slot for the available RAM that you're going to put in. Now, if you notice, the RAM slots on these, one side is going to be, in this instance, this side is shorter than this side. And you want to make sure that you look at the slot and you try to identify which one is a short one and which one is a long one. In my case, the one in the bottom is going to be the longer one. So I want to make sure that I am inserting the bottom one towards the bottom. Now, if you do this properly, the RAM should just snap in, and it's actually not very easy. Oh, sorry. Here you're going to have two little hooks that kind of grab the RAM. You'll notice here, mines are gray. So you want to pop that open. It just slides up and slides down. And then you want to insert your RAM. They recommend that you insert it at an angle first. And if you notice, there's going to be two little openings where you put the RAM once you open these white or beige looking flaps. And then it'll be a little bit sticking out once you put it in. And as you push the RAM in, it'll click into place. You start with one side, and then you click, you push down on the next piece. To lock the other one. And as you do it, I know that it looked easy when I just put it in right now, but when you're pushing it down, it's gonna feel like it's gonna break because it's so flimsy. It's very fragile. But don't worry, just push it in against the motherboard, and then it should snap in place. If you do one side at a time, you should be fine. And now that we have the RAM installed in the computer, let's go ahead and put the top on. Okay guys, now that we have the RAM inserted into the computer, now let's go ahead and put the cover back on the way that it was before, with the screws in their respective place. And we are going to connect the computer and boot it up just to show you how fast you're expected to have the computer go once you have already installed the RAM. There are no programs that you should have to install. The computer should do it all by itself. All of that installation stuff should be taken care of by the RAM all by itself, so that's nothing you'd have to worry about. So let's go ahead and put the cover back on and connect the computer and boot it up. Okay, now that we have our PC3200 1 gig RAM inserted into our computer, already installed, let's go ahead and turn the computer on for the very first time to see what we can expect as far as speed is concerned. So now, we turn on the computer. Turn on the monitor. And this is actually an Emachine model T3516. It's a computer that's, it's not particularly Windows XP capable. It originally came with Windows 95, so this would be the very first upgrade that the computer is getting. So now let's take a quicker look. Basically what this is telling us right now is that Fireware has detected that the system memory has changed. You go ahead and just hit enter to continue. That's no big deal. And let's see what changes we can expect. We have our Windows XP loading. And if I'm not mistaken, we should, well, actually that right there was a lot faster than what it usually was. Typically speaking, whenever we had to boot up the computer, it would take anywhere from 4 to 6 minutes in order for it to load from the Windows screen. So now I'm just gonna go ahead and get into the computer's main page. Now there, no, it may be very difficult to see, but now it's a 3.20 gigahertz, 1.37 gigabytes of RAM. So it actually did take this computer from a 300 megabyte RAM to a 1.3 giga. So this concludes our video instructional thing on how to install RAM properly. And I hope you learned something. If I missed something out, please leave me some comments, and on my future installations I will add that. Thank you.